Good morning. How y'all doing? Yeah. So, remember my remember when I said that, hold on, God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, wherever this go, there we gonna go with it. Okay. So, remember when I spoke on witchcraft? Witchcraft is a manipulation of your free will. That's witchcraft. Witchcraft is a manipulation of your free will, among other things, but mainly your free will. And so, I'm going to read this. This coming out of Matthew. It's really Matthew 37, but I'm going to read all of it because God said, Jesus said he forbid oaths. So, in Matthew verse 33, which goes into what I'm going to talk about, the manipulation of the free will, which is witchcraft. So, witchcraft, in your mind, because see, Satan wants you to paint this picture of witchcraft. So he wants you to paint this picture that people that do witchcraft is into all this deep dark stuff and all this summoning of stuff, but no, it's just simply you manipulating a person's free will. It's something as simple as that can put you into witchcraft, the practice of witchcraft, manipulation. So when I go and I say, I'm trying to think, when I'm talking to y'all, I'm like, God, should I just go into this, then go into that, or go into that, then go into this? Okay. So, when I sit and I say no, and I say, find an answer no, like, I'm not going back to where I came from, and the answer no, and you want to manipulate me to change my mind, that's witchcraft. You trying to do witchcraft on me. So in this process, I feel like if you in violation with God, I'ma have my way with you. I'ma have my way with you. So respect my boundaries. If I say no, my no is no. My yes is yes in this process. Do not feel like you can manipulate me, because then you open the door for me. And like I said, I feel like playing mind games is my specialty. So don't cross that line. Because at this point, I'm going to process it like you want to play mind games. And I feel like I can get in your head before you can get in mine in this process. So when you try to alter a person's or try to persuade a person, if they say no, and you want to persuade them to say yes, or if they say yes, you want to persuade them to say no, and you manipulating their free will, that's witchcraft. God don't even interfere with witchcraft. So in my last video, I said I go up to the courts of heaven and I go before God dealing with you, and I bring up free will, because I know God is very serious about free will out here. I throw free will in it real fast. I'm like, no, God, this I need my free will right here. Look at this right here. God gonna look down on the situation. He don't like nobody mess with nobody free will in this process. So if I go and I say free will, God looking like, what's going on? Who messing with, like what? For real. That gonna get God attention right there. So I'm gonna read this. God like, I don't even mess with free will. I don't even do that. Well, God, they mess with my free will. And yeah, this ain't even my free will right here, God. Look at this right here, and look at what these folks doing. Witchcraft. So I'm finna read this. And I'm just gonna read God, Jesus forbid oath. Cause why not? Okay. It say again, this Jesus talking too. It say again, you have heard that it was said to those of old. Let me, cause my phone, trying to hold my phone and read. Okay, let me see. It say again, you have heard that it was said to those of old, you should not swear falsely, but shall perform your oaths to the Lord. But I say to you, do not swear at all. That mean at all. That mean when you go into these fraternities, these sororities, and you gotta swear when you get initiated in the gang, and you gotta swear and do your vows to a gang. God said, do not swear at all toward nothing going on. He tell me some more stuff dealing with swearing, cause it's like all you could do at this point. And I'm finna read this, but all you can do at this point, because we are in the word, but we not of the word, is kind of renounce it, so to speak. Because even if you go to certain jobs, before you even get hired, you have to be sworn in. Like, even when you do certain things, like even dealing with the court system, they swear you in, don't it? I get when you get out, I get why you swearing, you need to cross your finger and hide it behind your back and be like, okay. Cause when you say this right here, cause when you say this, when he says do not swear at all, and in my mind, it's the Holy Spirit. He's showing me all the ways that they have embedded this swearing that's going on and made it like normal. It made it a part of society. So it's kind of, so it seems like it's normal, like it's law. So he told me about that too, about the law and how they make it law. They make sin law to make it legal. I'm going to that too, because he told me about that. But yeah, it say, do not swear at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, nor by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. Nor shall you swear by your head, because you cannot make one hair black or white. So you know how people be swearing, be like, on my mama. And you know how some people be like, on God. You know how they be rapping, all them be like, on God. Or they might say something, be like, on God, on my grandmama, on my dead cousin, on my great-great-granddaddy. God said, God forbids. It's a forbidden tongue. Do not swear on nobody to try to get the truth out of them. It don't take all that. If you gotta do all, like, it don't take you going to that extent to try to prove your truth to people. And then you say right here, but let your yes be yes and your no, no. For whatever is more than these is from the evil one. So, I read it again. I'm going to read this again, see what's coming to me. Because as I was reading, he started going into people swearing on him. People swearing on their mamas because their mama didn't die. So you feel like you got more credibility to swear on somebody who you say you love in your heart. Like you feel like you building up this credibility, but it's forbidden. According to the Bible, this is forbidden. So, it's like, again, you have heard it was said to those of old, you shall not swear falsely, but shall perform your oaths to the Lord. So the only person you need to be trying to make a commitment to and make promises to is you and God in this process. But do not make I'm going to tell you this right now. Do not commit yourself to God and fall short on your end from a verbal or any kind of like contract. If you have create a covenant with God, you and God, oh God, if you save my daughter, I'm going to devote my daughter to you. And he save your daughter and you don't hold your end of the bargain. Yeah, it's going to be consequence behind it. You cannot create a covenant with God and then break your covenant in this process. So yeah, God expects you to hold your end, especially if you making a covenant, establishing a covenant with him. He take these covenants very serious in this process. You know, you might not be able to have no kids, and you just praying to God like, God, I just want a child. You just give me a child, I'm going to give them to you. God expecting you to hold your end of the bargain. When that child born, you devote that child and raise that child up in him and basically give it to him, so to speak, so he can do what he want with that child, because that was y'all covenant. But you can't pray to God and tell him, bless me with a child, and then once you get your child, you raising your child up on everything but God in this process. God, yeah, you're going to have to answer to that. Yep, you're going to be held accountable for that. So it's you can't make broken promises to God. So whatever you tell God you're going to do, he expects you to do it. So don't tell him you're going to do something you ain't going to do it. Bailey, you just better off just not telling him you're going to do it than saying you're going to do this and then you don't even do it. Because God holds you to a higher standard once you come to him and you make this covenant between you and him in this process. You cannot lie to God. You cannot lie to him. Like, he really take these serious. He really take that serious. But I'm going to read this right quick. It say, again, you have heard it was said to those of old, you shall not swear falsely, but you shall perform your oaths to the Lord. So you can make oaths to God directly. If you want to just, make these covenants and promises. But I'm telling you right now, you better make sure you can hold your end of the bargain in this process. Better make sure you can carry your own out here. If you done made like a private covenant with God in this process, it's like, but I say to you, do not swear at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by earth, for it is his footstool, nor by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. Nor shall you swear by your head, because you cannot make one hair white or black. But let your yes and your no know, for whatever is more than these is from the evil one. So if you're doing anything other than saying yes to a person, no to a person, and you doing all this extra stuff, he said whatever else is from the evil one. That means you operating in the spirit of darkness at that point. If your yes is more than a yes and your no is more than a no, you is not operating in the fruits of God. You are operating in the fruits of Satan at this point. You are operating, he said, it's from the evil one. So when you be doing all this extra stuff, you be like, ooh, on my mama. Once you put it on your mama, it's from the evil one that you speaking out of. That's what you speaking through. So that's what it say. This Matthew 33. You ain't supposed to do no swearing at all. And it's in it's part of our, like, it's wrapped up in our laws. It's wrapped up in everything we do. Like, it's part of our customs. Even when you listen to music, when they be like, on God, that's going against the Bible. Whenever you sit there and you say on God in your raps and just saying on God on everything, like on God, like first you put on your mama, then you put on your daddy, then you put on your sister, on my sister, on my brother, on my grandmama. That ain't good enough. Now you done bumped it up even higher, and now you swearing on God, and now you like on God, like it went past that. It's coming from the evil one. The evil one got you swearing on God, which is, my opinion, that's an abomination. The holy is a holy, the creator. Like, you want to swear on him? Like, I don't know. Because when I look at God, it's sacred, holy, pure, and you talking about you swearing on it, that's like defilement. Like, that's a violation. For real. Like, when you look at the extent, and God got me, like, mentally, like, I can see the spiritual, like, disrespect. Like, that's disrespectful. Like, how foul can you be? That's foul. Like, that's like, yeah. So, when you look at God, and you look at him as pure, holy, no wrong, no lies, and you have taken this do not swear, which is in the Bible, and you done pushed it so far up beyond earth into the heavens, and you done swore on him. Let me stop. Like, yeah. Because it say, yeah, that's what it say. So when I look and I see people, they swear all day, every day. That's what they do. They swear all day, every day. They be swearing on their mamas, their dad, anything they can swear on. I guess you get to the point you swear on God, you ain't got a care in the world. Like, you got to really just have no respect for your creator, for the God that created you, to be swearing on him in this process. All I'm saying is, respect God and his holiness and all of this sin and this corruption and this evil that we living in. And the Bible says, let your yes be yes and your no, no. That's all it needs to be in this process. All that extra stuff, it's like it is from the evil one. So if you're doing anything extra than saying yes and no, and you got to do all this, you got to do all this extra stuff to convince people that your yes is yes and your no is no. Anything after you saying the words yes and no to a person is from the evil one. So when I say, when God decided to cut people off and I said no, like no deals, and people feel like they finna try to manipulate me to say yes in this process, that's witchcraft. And it's from the evil one. Because my no is no and my yes is yes. So if you want to cross that line, that's why I said in my other video, it's a violation for you to even do it. But you might not understand why I was saying it, so I'm breaking it down now. That if you want to cross that line of my no not being a no and my yes not being a yes, I'm going straight to the courts of heaven and shoot, file a claim against violation of my free will out here. I'm like, it's a violation of my free will, God. And God gonna jump on it right then, because God don't want nothing and nobody mess with nobody free will out here. I don't know how I know this. It seems like I'm all knowing to know this. To go to God about free will, he gonna get mad. I know this. And this knowing is from a higher power that won't tickle. Like, I already know what to say. If somebody try to cross that line, cross my boundaries, my no is my no and my yes is my yes. The decisions have been made in this process. It's nothing more to do, nothing more to say. If you try to convince me otherwise, it's witchcraft and manipulation. It's witchcraft and manipulation. If you do anything extra to try to convince me otherwise. So I look at that. I look at people that try to switch and change your yeses and your nos, because it's from the evil one if they do. And it's witchcraft. Anything that interferes with your free will is witchcraft in this process. And so I'm well aware of this in this process. So I get God, this it, right? I'm looking real quick to see if you want me to say something else. I'm looking at some of this stuff, because like I said, I'm a work in process myself. And during this process, I realized, me being a good person, what I attract. And all this darkness is just drawn to me. So I'm very stern. Like, people don't know why I attract, but if you see why I attract, you will know why I be like I be out here. Like, it is like, wow, God. But I'm ready though. And now, these demons ain't trying to play with me. Because for one, they beneath me. I know this. So they already know. I know my authority, my position with them. They already at the bottom of Satan's kingdom in this process. They have no authority, no nothing. That's why they always be grouped up. Demons have to run in packs. So, like, even when you see, like, I feel like when you see certain female all on running in packs, that's how demons operate. They can't do nothing alone. They have to operate together. And even with them together, they still weak. I'm finna pull that up too. So, demons running packs. So when I see like females and stuff, they're very weak alone. These demons and spirits and peoples, when they run in packs, they are very weak alone. That's why they have to group up and be together. They can't operate alone. See, me, I move alone out here. God got me walking alone, and I'm ready. Yeah, y'all. Sometimes I get through talking to people, they be like, they go the other way, they be running off. I'm like, no, come on around here and talk to me. I ain't found nobody on my level to talk on my level no way. Come on over here. That folk be running because the spirit's in them. I already know. Yeah. So, I'm reading this right here about a demon-possessed man. I'm in Luke, because it's two different disciples speak on this. I'm in Luke chapter 8, verse 26. And I'm just letting you know how demons run in packs. When you see people in packs, but then I guess you gotta go for the head, because everybody else gonna scatter. So if you dealing with packs, you look for the strongest one in that pack and you get that, and I guarantee everybody gonna scatter. But this right here, when you talking about demons, it's a demon-possessed man healed. It's like, then they sail to the country of the Gadarenes, which is opposite Galilee. And when he stepped out on the land, there met him a certain man from the city who had demons for a long time, and he wore no clothes, nor did he live in a house, but in tombs. And when he saw Jesus, he cried out, fell down before him, and with a loud voice said, "What have I to do with you, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, do not torment me." See, the spirit already knew what was in him. See, Jesus never identified himself, but the spirits in this man knew who Jesus was in this process. So now the demons is speaking directly to Jesus and calling him out. It's like, for he had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man, for it had often seized him, and he was kept under guard, bound with chains and shackles. And he broke the bounds and was driven by the demon into the wilderness. I'm tickled because you know how sometimes God, when you look, Satan is a counterfeit of God. Everything God do, Satan, he do the exact same. Like, Satan is obsessed with God in this process. So everything that God do, Satan do too. It's a counterfeit to it. Satan is a counterfeit of the blueprint of the original. Like, he's obsessed with God in this process. Satan is obsessed. So you look, like, even when you deal with relationships and stuff, like God got kingdom marriages and stuff like that, Satan, he gonna send his counterfeits out. Because Satan is so obsessed with God and how he operates. Satan's kingdom is identical to God, but it's just a counterfeit in this process. So right here, when you read the he was bound and driven by the demons into the wilderness. You know how sometimes God, he sent us into the wilderness? Well, the demons, they sent this man into the wilderness. I'm tickled. Because of the parallel, what they call it, parallel, like the parallelism, like it's parallel, like it's like a counterfeit. It's like you look in the mirror I turn around and it work. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a counterfeit. So, because you hear Jesus talking about, you hear the Bible speak on God sending people to the wilderness all the time, but you don't too much hear about demons being sent into the wilderness. But right here, it said the demons sent him straight to the wilderness. Okay, let me stop. It's like Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" He said Legion, because many demons had entered him, and they begged him that he would not command them to go out into the abyss. Now, a herd of many swine was feeding there on the mountain, so they begged him, and he would permit them to enter them, and he permitted them. Then the demons went out of the man and entered the swine, and then the herd ran violently down a steep place into the lake and drowned. When those who fed them saw what happened, they fled and told it in the city and in the country. Then they went out to see what had happened, and came to Jesus and found the man from whom the demons had departed sitting at the feet of Jesus, clothed in his right mind, and they were afraid. How they afraid? Like, could this man in his right mind, they afraid? Ain't that how they are now? Like, if you in your right mind out here, ain't the people, the system afraid of you, so to speak? They, while he running around out here naked, no clothes, running through the wilderness, butt naked, it's cool. No issue, no problem. The system, the people, the community, they done put him in the village and told him do what he do out here. Let the demons roam. But as soon as Jesus get this man in his right mind and got rid of the demons, now they scared. They ought to tell you something. So, it's like Jesus clothed. It's like, then they went out to see what had happened and came to Jesus and found the man whom the demons had departed, sitting at the feet of Jesus, clothed in his right mind. And they were afraid. So if you in your right mind out here, they will be afraid of you. They want you walking around naked, no clothes on. The demons got you in the wilderness all over the place, terrorizing everybody. It's cool to do. But as soon as you in your right mind out here, now they afraid. They also who had seen it told them by what means he who had been demon possessed was healed. Then the whole multitude of the surrounding region of the Gadarenes asked him to depart from them, for they were seized with great fear. And he got into his boat and returned. So word got around about what he had did and how he had healed this man. And so they are very much afraid. So you mean to tell me that while this man walking around, these demons got this dude just all over the place out in the wilderness. He so possessed, he can't even be in the village. Like, they got him cast outside the village as an outcast, just doing what he want to do out here. It's cool. But as soon as he get his right mind and he is healed out here, everybody is afraid now. They just scared. But you weren't scared of this demon-possessed man terrorizing everybody in the village? Like, that didn't scare y'all? Okay. It's like, now the man from whom the demons had departed begged him that he might be with him. But Jesus sent him away, saying, return to your own house and tell what great things God has done for you. And he went his way and proclaimed throughout the whole city what great things Jesus had done for him. So when I read this right here about the demon-possessed man and how, he said, who are you? And he said, Legion, because many demons had entered him. So because it was so many demons, they referred to themselves as Legion at this point. It's only one Jesus. Even with all of what was going on and with all that was in that man, all them demons that was in that man, one Jesus still was strong enough to overpower every single spirit, every single demon that was in that man. If they still was weak. So even with all them coming together, they still was weak. They all still were weak. Even with them coming together, they still weak against the one. I told you, when God helped me out here, I'm the one. I'm always the one. I'm always by myself out here. And they still weak. Still weak. So when I deal with spirits and demons and stuff, they already know. Leave me alone. So I don't have too much problem. I don't have too many issues, too many problems with demons and spirits and stuff. Like, I really don't. And sometimes even Satan get on my nerve. I be like, So I don't have those kind of problems, really. But when I was speaking earlier, I was talking about how they run in packs. Like, demons, they have to run in packs. Like, one demon cannot just take over you and possess you. Like, it's going to be a legion. They're going to keep coming and coming and coming and piling up and piling up. They weak. So they're going to keep trying to manifest, jump on you, hide within you. Unforgiveness. That spirit like to hide within you, along with some other spirits. The spirit of forgiveness. Yeah. It's hard to cast unforgiveness out because it be hidden within you. That's one, certain spirits. God, I ain't trying to get too deep to this, but certain spirits like to be seen. They like to know. Like Leviathan, like the pride, the spirit of pride. It's egotistical and it's pride. And it wants you to know. But certain demons don't want you to know they're there. And the ones that don't want you to know they're there, those are the ones you need to be going after. The spirit of unforgiveness, especially, because it causes a lot of problems for a lot of people. And I'm talking about physical problems with their body. The spirit of unforgiveness, the way it roots itself within you. And the reason why it's able to do that, because it buries itself within you. So you have to dig it up. You got the way to get rid of unforgiveness, you got to dig it up. It's going to bury itself within you. And shoot, they're going to take a long time, because most of the time you deal with unforgiveness, it go all the way back to the childhood when the seed was planted. So when you deal with unforgiveness, which I'm speaking on this because this is the main one that everybody really needs to be focused on. This the one that's going to get you cast out of heaven. Unforgiveness. This the one. So when you deal with unforgiveness, the seeds was planted when you was a kid. So you got to go all the way back to your childhood, because unforgiveness has taken root within your body. So it has already got roots. So just like you get roots in the ground when you plant, and you have to dig up those roots, and sometimes you can't pull them up depending on how deep it's like in the ground. Sometimes you gonna have to have a little more than a shovel to get up some of these roots that didn't rooted itself and planted itself within the ground. That's how unforgiveness is. God showed me unforgiveness. Yeah, that's why I'm speaking on it, because I see the actual spirit. And it like to stay hidden. It move real slow. Like the way God showed me COVID in the spirit. And COVID moved real fast. But the thing about COVID and the demon attached to COVID is it want a body. So if it want a body and it's killing all the bodies, what it's going to do? It's going to have to adapt so that it can live within you. So at first people were dying when they caught COVID, because the demon had to figure out a way to be able to live off of you, still live in your body without killing you in this process. So it had to figure it out. It's like, shoot, I ain't got no body. We got to find a body. Because they don't want to be wanderers. They want to be in the body. So when the COVID first hit, everybody was dying. So the virus had to figure it out. And it figured out, okay, we can live together. Because it's like a host and parasite. So you can't kill the host. How you gonna live and do the damage you trying to do if you jump on the person, they dead? So what you gonna do is you gonna try to adapt to the situation so that you can live longer in the body. So at first it was like, boop, you dead. You got COVID, boop, you dead. Then it figured out a way where we ain't got to die. So that's how the COVID worked. But God showed me COVID. I actually was with COVID. I actually was with the demon of COVID when it was moving in the spiritual. I'm like, woo, that moved fast. It traveled really, really fast. And the opposite of COVID, I say it's unforgiveness, because it moved really, really slow. It travels really, really slow in the spiritual, unforgiveness. And so it's able to take root. You may forget about it. Unforgivable. I said the spirit of unforgiveness. The name speak for itself. Unforgiveness, because you ain't forgiving them, but you're going to forget about it in the process. It's something you got to dig and bury up. And go all the way back to your childhood to dig and bury this up from the root. Go all the way back to your childhood to dig and bury this up and uproot this from within you, so you can go forward with yourself. Because a lot of people is not going to get into heaven due to unforgiveness. And it's going to go back to the childhood. So go back to your childhood. Figure out what you got going on, who you ain't forgave, who did something to you, and go through and just start forgiving everybody. Because is it worth your soul? Is unforgiveness worth your soul? Now, if you want unforgiveness to be worth your soul, then okay, cool. Because again, God do not interfere with free will in this process. So you got to make the choice. But if you try and get into heaven, you can't have no unforgiveness in your heart. I'm going to tell you this right now. And that's going to be one of the hardest things to uproot in this process, unforgiveness. I'm telling you this right now. I seen in the spirit, so I'm telling you what I know. So you work on it now, because this is not no overnight type thing. Now, sometimes God do come in, and Jesus will come, and people can boop everything, just remove and lift and uplift it over in an instance. That ain't the case with everybody. And the reality of it all is, certain people, they just have to go through the steps. And time is in this equation, and they're going to have to work their way through. Little by little, get rid of it. Because you ain't trying to be in hell in this process. Not for no unforgiveness now. Like, no, not for no unforgiveness. Now, I know your soul ain't worth. Now, if you feel like your soul is worth the value of your soul is worth unforgiveness, okay, cool. Y'all both can be in hell together. You and unforgiveness. If that's the price you want to put on your soul, but you trying to get to heaven, you want to get that unforgiveness, it can't be no unforgiveness nowhere in you. And actually, you have to pray to God and ask God to show you anywhere where that spirit of unforgiveness may be buried and hiding it, because it's hiding within you. It like to hide. It's not going to show itself. It's not Jezebel. It's not Lilith. It's not Leviathan. It don't want to be seen. You know how sometimes people be in the background, in the shadow? They don't want to be seen. This type of demon, this type of spirit do not want to be seen. So it's going to be buried, very deep. It's going to go deep into it. It possibly can go within you. But certain other spirits like to show themselves. Like they want to be seen. It's the arrogance and cockiness and ego that come with it. And the pride. That's what they want to do. But you're dealing with a whole different characteristic when you're dealing with unforgiveness, y'all. And I'm telling you now, move very slow. Okay. So, God had me speaking on unforgiveness. God, you want me going to the Bible dealing with this unforgiveness? Okay. I'm on Matthew 18, 21 through 35. It's speaking on the parable of the unforgiving servant. God want me to speak on unforgiveness because this gonna have a lot of people tricked and trapped. This spirit very tricky. And it like to hide. And it move extremely slow. And it probably moves slow so you wouldn't even notice it. So it can dig deeper within you. So this type of spirit, you're gonna have to, it's gonna take some work with this. The spirit of unforgiveness gonna take work. So right here, it say the parable of the unforgiving servant. It say, then Peter came to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Up to 7 times? And Jesus said to him, I do not say to you up to 7 times, but up to 70 times 7. Therefore, a kingdom of heaven is like a certain king who wanted to settle accounts with his servants. And when he had begun to settle accounts, one was brought to him who owed him 10,000 talents. But as he was not able to pay, his master commanded that he be sold, with his wife and children and all that he had, and the payment be made. The servant therefore fell down before him, saying, Master, have patience with me, and I will pay you all. Then the master of the servant was moved with compassion, released him, and forgave him his debt. But then the servant went out and found one of his fellow servants who owed him 100 denarii. And he laid hands on him and took him by the throat, saying, Pay me what you owe. So the fellow servant fell down at his feet and begged him, saying, What is my voice doing? Pay me what you owe. So the fellow servant fell down at his feet and begged him, saying, Have patience with me, and I will pay you all. And he would not, but went and threw him into prison till he should pay the debt. So when the fellow servant saw what had been done, they were very grieved, and came and told their master all that had been done. Then his master, after he had called him, said to him, "You wicked servant, I forgave you all that debt because you begged me. Should you not also have compassion on your fellow servant, just as I had pity on you?" And his master was angry and delivered him to the torturers until he should pay all that was due him. So my heavenly Father also will do to you if each of you from his heart does not forgive his brother his trespasses. So basically, you can't expect others to forgive you, or you can't expect God himself to forgive you, and you can't exercise the same thing within the earth. So if you want God to forgive you, you're gonna have to be out here. You're gonna have to forgive. Like whatever you want God, I'm gonna tell you the law of the land. Whatever you want God to do for you, you're gonna do for those around you in this process. Now, this forgiveness is a work in progress. It's a work in progress. But right here, when he said, how many times should you forgive? Up to 7. And Jesus said, he said, I do not say to you up to 7 times, but up to 70 times 7. So anytime somebody do you wrong, 70 times 7. But me, I'm like, it ain't gonna even get up to 70 times 7. If it did get up to 70 times 7, because I ain't never learned my lesson, then you gonna be forgiven 70 times 7. But I'm gonna learn my lesson pretty fast out here. And the amount of times I got to forgive you is not going to be up to no 70 times 7, because I'm going to learn my lesson. I'm going to get through the test, and I'm going to get to the next level in this process. You still got to exercise discernment. You still got to treasure the value that God gave you. You still can't just be out here letting everybody just trample upon you in this process. But during this process, certain things you can control it. If God give you a download on somebody, about somebody's character, and you don't pay attention to what's going on, and you get hurt in this process, then boom, you're going to have to exercise forgiveness toward that person who hurt you in this process. But God is going to give you warnings about people out here too, so you don't have to go through their whole process. But if you do got to go through that process, it's going to be 70 times 7. It's going to be 100 times 100. Like, how many times going to take for you to learn and get hurt in the process, and learn and get hurt in the process, and learn and get hurt in the process? With me, it ain't gonna be no 70 times 7. But if I gotta forgive somebody, even if it's 1,000,000 times, yeah, you are forgiven 1,000,000 times. But the question is, will I let you hurt me 1,000,000 times in this process? Like, is it gonna even get to that number? Because in my mind, in my cutoff game, it ain't gonna even get to that number. Like, it's just not gonna get to that number. But if it did get to the number, you will be forgiven for however many times I let you. I don't take heed to God in this process, and my brother hurt me. Yeah, you will be forgiven. Actually, everybody's forgiven right now. I don't have no hate toward nobody that had done me wrong in this process. Like, I don't have no hate, no nothing. Now, what I do have is boundaries. I do have a wall up. I do be in my bubble. So the chance for anybody trying to cause any harm to me is very low. Certain things I can't control, but the things I can't control, if somebody hurt me, they will be forgiven too in this process. Like, I don't have a problem forgiving people, period. Now, what I do have a problem with is taking losses in this process. So me, I'm doing what I can to protect myself in this process. I'm doing what I can to have the liability as low as possible in this process. But if it gets to a point where somebody hurt me 1,000,000 times, they will be forgiven 1,000,000 times. Like, that's not a problem for me. My problem is it going to even get to 1,000,000? Because my cutoff game, like, shoot. That what God working with me on right now. My cutoff game. I got this huge wall up. God don't want me in this wall forever, but I got this huge wall up. Because so many people got ulterior motives out here. Always plotting and planning. I don't let nobody get too close to me. I don't think God let nobody get too close to me either in this process. God do send people my way. So that's just what it is. So yeah. So right now I'm in Matthew 6, and this the model prayer. And actually forgiveness is in it. So I'm not gonna read the whole model prayer because it's kind of long, but I'm gonna read the part where it goes into the actual prayer and see what God telling me dealing with this. It's like, "Oh Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen." So even in the model prayer that God wants us to use, he wants us to pray that our debts are forgiven, but that we also pray against those who owe us in this process. So it's like, "For if you forgive men their trespass, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses." So I think that's how I'm going to say dealing with that, because the Bible do speak a lot dealing with the forgiveness. And in the past, I did pay a video speaking on forgiveness, and it's popping up in my sub, like it's dropping down, like, dude. It said that's a big one for everybody, including me. I'm a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. But I got a heart like David. You know, David, even though he did wrong, he had the heart of God. Like, he wanted to do right in this process. Like, he wanted to right his wrongs. So when his wrongs was called out to him, he had the heart to want to be right, do right, and God honored it. Because he had a pure heart, even though he did do wrong things. He still had the heart of God in this process. That's me. Like, I ain't perfect out here. But if God called it out, I'm like, ooh, let me fix it. That's just me. So even with everything going on, I'm human in this process. So, shoot, God, if I got to deal with forgiveness, all of that, it's all a process in this process. So, y'all, we all gonna work on forgiveness. If anybody owe you anything, write it off. However you want God to treat you, that's how you gonna have to treat the other person. So if somebody owe you something, if you want God to write off something dealing with you, then you gonna have to write off something dealing with somebody that owe you. That's how you gonna have to do it. But don't do it with the intent of, "Ooh, God, I want you to forgive me, so I'm forgiving them." Like, have a pure heart in this process. Don't make it transactional. Don't make it about what you can get out of it. Don't look at it like it's my benefit, so this is why I'm doing it. Do it because you got a pure heart and you just want to forgive them, even though if you forgive them, God will forgive you in this process. Position your heart to be in the right place in this process. Reposition your heart to be in the right place in this process. Even though you know God's a good God, and you know the laws of the land, and you know everything that comes with being good out here, don't make what God do for you transactional in this process. Satan is transactional. You have to give him something, he got to give you something. Do not make the relationship you got with God just this transactional type of relationship. Like, do it from the kindness of your heart in this process. Okay, y'all, I'm finna let y'all go. Y'all enjoy y'all day. And like I said, I'm be working on me. I'm be working on me. All is forgiving in this process. But as far as like rekindling our old relationships, God closed it though. Now, will God open the door back up? I have no clue. But God ain't gonna interfere with my free will either. So just the same. God give me the freedom to choose. Hey, is this what you want to, like, do you want to permanently close the door? God closed doors now. I'm going to tell you that. God closed doors, but I do still have free will to say, well, maybe this is something I do want to work on. But 9 times out of 10, after God closed the door, after everything been done, the whole process of everything has already been equated into the situation, including the grace that was already given. 9 times out of 10, after I go through that whole process, it's nothing that's going to make me look back and say, I missed out. Or Like, it's nothing there. Because everything played itself out. Everything manifested itself to the point where it needed to end. Like, this just what that is. Now, God will send good people my way. One day, God, when you gonna send these good people my way? Yeah. So me, I'm like Jesus. Like, I really just be moving along out here. And I realize when people run in packs, they are extremely weak. Just like Jesus cast out them legion of demons, they are extremely weak. They run in numbers. Satan run in numbers. Like, it's going to make him stronger, but it still don't compare to Jesus walking by himself. Jesus cast out all them demons by himself. So if you got Jesus, that's all you really need out here in this process. So that's how God got me operating out here. And I'm ready. Like, I always used to be like, I'm from Memphis and my tolerance is 0. It's really low now. Y'all, Memphis got my tolerance so low. Don't nothing, like, do not play with me. And I'm talking about to these demons. And I'm talking to Satan too. Because my tolerance is 0. I ain't putting up with nothing. They stay on my way. My tolerance low for real. Like, it's so low. Like, anything just set me off. The grace gone. It's spiritual. The grace is gone. So, God do give grace for certain situations. I'm just talking about overall, the grace is gone. So, it's just like, some people on the very thin line out here playing. And I'm not the one to play with. You know, I deal with warnings. God said 95% of what I speak gonna be warnings. So, you already know I got to be 0 tolerance to be trying to deliver a warning to a bunch of people that don't want to hear what God got to say. Do you think people want to walk around and listen to warnings? That's the last thing people want to hear. And I'm on the forefront for this. And I'm ready. I'm like, what? I need to tell who what? Okay. Because you think, I don't fear nobody but God in this process. I don't fear nobody but God in this process. Whatever God, if God has sent you the word to 10 people and you don't want to listen, I'm going to tell you the word. I'm going to have an attitude too. Because I know he told you 10 people before he sent me. And now you put me in some mess I ain't even trying to be in. Because I'm trying to get myself together in this process. So I'm going to have a stank attitude when I deliver this message. Because you don't want to listen. You ain't listen to the 10. You ain't going to listen to me either. But I'm still going to send a message. Because all your warnings going to testify against you in the end. Every time you were warned, you going to know. Every single time you was warned and you didn't pay attention. And you didn't listen. Your truth is going to speak against you. Like, your truth is going to testify against you in heaven. So if the truth you was warned and you didn't want to heed to his voice, that's going to be testifying against you. Dang. God, my truth going to testify against me out here. I got to get myself together. Yeah. So, y'all enjoy y'all day. Y'all be safe. I'm finna get some sleep. I ain't know where God going to go with it, really. He just telling me about the yes is yes and no and no. And if anybody try to influence you any other way, it's manipulation, it's witchcraft. Certain things, you can be like, girl, come on. And then, they can't have a change of heart. But I'm just talking about, like, certain things when you stern about your yes and your no, and people feel like, well, I'm going to manipulate and I'm going to convince this person. That's witchcraft and manipulation. And if somebody want to play with me about my free will that I treasure so much, because I know God treasures our free will so much, I'm throw God in right then. God, they mess with my free will. God, they messing with my free will right now. My first mind said it make him mad if I say that. God don't like nobody messing with nobody free will. It gonna make him real mad. I'm tickled because I know that. So, y'all, I'm talking to y'all later. Enjoy y'all day.